Welcome to this week's episode of Caregivers 101. My name is Yasmin and I will be your instructor for today's lesson. This class, we will be discussing 7 tips to help children cope with parental imprisonment. Tip 1. Reassure children that they are loved and supported. When a parent goes to prison, children may feel abandoned, guilty, or unloved. It is important for caregivers to remind children that the caregiver and imprisoned parent still love and support them. Tip 2. Talk about feelings with the child. Children experience a wide array of emotions during the parent's imprisonment. As such, it is important for caregivers to check in on children regularly to see how they are feeling and coping with these complex feelings. For example, a caregiver could say, "You look sad. Are you missing your dad?" Or, "When you get that angry at little things, I wonder if you're also angry at your dad for going to prison." Caregivers should validate children's feelings and let them know it's okay to feel sad, angry, or any other emotion. During these discussions, caregivers should talk about their feelings with children. These discussions help children feel like they're not alone. Caregivers can speak openly and honestly about their own emotions, but should avoid speaking negatively about the imprisoned parent. Caregivers should assure children that it is okay to have different feelings towards the imprisoned parent than the caregiver. For example, a caregiver could say, "We feel different things about your dad's imprisonment, and that is okay. I still want you to go and visit him because he's your dad and he loves you." Tip 3. Try to maintain a consistent routine, especially for young children. Caregivers should provide infants and young children with consistent routines to help build security. In the morning, let the child know some of the things that will happen throughout the day. Caregivers are encouraged to share this routine with the imprisoned parent as well, and schedule regular times for the parent to call the child. The imprisonment of a parent is extremely disruptive to a child's life, so it's important to reduce uncertainties whenever possible. Caregivers also can give children a comfort item to keep during the day, such as a family photo or stuffed animal. Comfort items may help children cope with stress and negative emotions when the caregiver is not physically present. Tip 4. Encourage children to pursue hobbies or activities they enjoy. Caregivers should encourage children to continue healthy activities like reading, playing sports, painting, and playing games with their friends. These activities help children build confidence and process negative emotions. Children can also talk about these interests with the imprisoned parent. Caregivers should try to participate in hobbies with children as well. Sharing these activities shows children that you are still a family and it's okay to have fun without the imprisoned parent present. Tip 5. Set up family discussion times. Families can designate times each week to discuss prison and non-prison related topics. For example, caregivers can choose a night to hold family meetings to discuss how everyone is coping with the parent's imprisonment. Family meetings also can be a time to discuss other positive or negative events from the week. Families should coordinate a time each week to speak to an imprisoned parent as well. Since people in prison can only make calls and cannot receive calls, this coordination helps ensure that children do not miss a call from a parent. Although it's important to provide children with opportunities to discuss the parent's imprisonment, some children may need a break from talking about prison. Families can set aside time when prison talk and jail talk is off limits, such as a Saturday morning breakfast. This time provides a moment of relief to those who need a break from the subject. Tip 6. Read stories or watch TV shows about children with parents in prison or jail. Caregivers should also encourage their libraries to include books and pamphlets about children with imprisoned parents in their collections. See Chapter 9 on resources for a list of books that discuss parental imprisonment. Caregivers also can purchase these books online or at a bookstore to read with younger children. Additionally, some children's television shows include children with imprisoned parents in the storyline. Sesame Street has episodes with a character named Alex, whose dad is in jail. Caregivers can watch shows like Sesame Street with young children to help them better understand parental imprisonment and start a conversation about prison in an age-appropriate manner. Tip 7. Get support and help for children and yourself. Children and caregivers need people to confide in. These people can be friends, family members, or other trusted adults in the children's lives. caregivers and children may also benefit from the professional help of therapists, counselors, or religious leaders. In some communities, there are local organizations which provide support groups, camps, or clubs for children with parents in prison, or for caregivers. Support groups and community organizations for children with parents in prison and their caregivers can help children and caregivers feel like they're not alone. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Caregivers 101. For more tips and resources, read DOC's Louisiana Informational Handbook for Caregivers of Children with Parents in Prison. A copy of this handbook is on the DOC website.